Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I recently paid a visit to a relative of mine who I gave a bunch of tools to a long time ago, and I decided to borrow a few of them back, basically to make this video. And what I discovered was that over time you start to think about things a little bit differently as your experience grows, and I wanted to highlight these three. First of all, this was the first pair of lineman pliers I ever bought. I was in high school, and these are Wilmars. I don't know, I assume Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever. They are silky smooth. I think I paid, I can't remember, they were out of some bin. I either paid like a 99 cents or $1.99. Anyway, I like the size. They are a smaller size. Here's, the big Kleins. To show you just how small these are, but they were really handy. Not the greatest cutters. They didn't have good fitment here, but they were just rock solid. They did everything I needed them to do for, a $2 pair of pliers. Oh, there we go. What does that say? Korea. Excellent. They're probably high end now. I don't know. I haven't looked them up. But as I look, trying to see, I did kind of chew up the cutters here, the knives, but what I found is they did everything I needed until I started moving into better quality tools. The SK screwdriver, well, there's been a lot of talk about SK moving their corporate headquarters, I guess, to China. And I had an SK green screwdriver. I remember this. I liked it. It was I beat up on it. I used it hard, but never warrantied the thing. It's slotted screwdrivers. But I thought it kind of neat. Maybe I'm going to, develop an affinity for this SK green. It's kind of neat when you can kind of look through it. It's not like the new stuff. This one's pretty old. But I did have a lot of good, adventures turning screws with that thing. This was my first ratcheting screwdriver. And if you look at this, this is the grip driver. I don't know if that's grip driver 2. Maybe there was a grip driver 1 that messed up. If you look at the, what this says closely, made in Germany, patent pending, EU, US patent. And there's the Craftsman Professional 47473 WFS, whatever that means. And what this is kind of a weird screwdriver. This is the ratcheting mechanism, and if you look, I'm going to have that hole upright, so let's start that again. Give me a clean spot here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 goes down a little bit, so between 3 and 4. 3 times 4, for 4 quarters here, is a 12. It's about a 12, which is pretty bad. Lots of play, lots of movement there. This is the ratcheting mechanism. When it's old. There's a little bit of play even in the locking. It just feels like this should come out, and it doesn't. Decent bit holding strength, but a little bit of play there. Now here's the ticket. Look at this. This was their way. Snap-on's got the presets, the little click button, but it swings out, and then you could grab it somehow and get kind of this palm driver. And yeah, it sort of works, but I found it slipped a lot. It was hard to hang on to. And most often what it would do is I'd want to use it in this straight configuration, and it'd slip when I'm applying pressure. They really tried some innovative design here, and I was captivated by it when I first got it. I mean, look at this. Also, this translucent, lightly translucent bit holder. You lift up, to free it up, and it spins. Every other one is a block. So you can rotate it back and forth, so you can spit a bit out. When you put the bit back in, you can just turn it half, or a click in either. I guess there's 2 that way. What do I got here? Anyway, oh, I've run in it. That's what I did. I started running them kind of empty. But you can see it's got bits and blocks. Maybe that's what that 2 means. Every other one is a block. So 2 clicks and it'll block. There's 3 in a row there. I haven't really spent much time looking at this under magnification. But anyway, I like this thing. I used it a lot. It worked well, but it was really clunky, cumbersome, and I never stopped looking for a better design. Interesting shape, hard to hold on to. This was a mess. Didn't hold that many bits, but a lot of infrastructure here to hold bits that it doesn't hold very many of. And then a kind of a clunky thing here. German made. Maybe somebody knows more about these. But anyway, I did enjoy it, but I never stopped looking. Then it got me thinking, what if I had, really nice tools from the start? What if instead of this, $1.99 pair of linemen's, I began my tooling around with high-end tools, really good tools? Would I be somewhere else in life? Would I be doing something different? It got me thinking about a lot of kids these days. You get that brand imprinting on particular colors or brands, maybe features. And then what happens to them later? Do they chase those, or do they give up because it's not grabbing them? And I was thinking about that, like with Snap-on or Mac or Wright or a lot of the tool brands. What if they gave away tools, gave them away, say to high schoolers? Would you develop that loyalty? Or would their tooling be taken to the next level? Because I'm doing stuff, with my $1.99 pair of Wilmar pliers made in Korea, and thinking about, the job, not the tool. So I was a blank slate when it came to being impressionable about tools, and that's where, somebody, I find a pair of Kleins, some little wire cutters or something, and you just develop an affinity for the brand. Or Snap-on, Craftsman Professional. I mean, that I didn't know what it meant, but it sounded impressive, so it drew me in. It looks like, gold lettering, nice crystal clear. They seem to care. Turns out it's a dud of a tool, but it actually, kind of sent me on the way to really respect it. So I started to wonder about that. And maybe what they ought to do is, like, Klein should give every high schooler a pair of pliers. Snap-on, a ratchet, a wrench, a screwdriver. Maybe just an instinct handle screwdriver. So, I like to start movements. Here's another one. It's not a big cost, but every single, able-bodied high school student, male, female, that wants one gets, say, a Snap-on instinct screwdriver, a pair of Klein pliers, American-made stuff. You've got to be careful. We might have, one of the Chinese companies coming in, or the German companies saying, we'll give the high school students their tools, or, something that makes them feel like they belong to a tool company. They're going to learn. They're going to be doing a lot, but, like my first Craftsman hammer, still have it, still love it, no problems with it. It made an impression on me. Sure, I had to spend the $9.97 or whatever on it, 95 cents. But what if I was given that? You'd have a kid for life being interested in your tools. Right now, you're expecting them to discover you. And the playing field is just too thick with competition. So if the American tool companies want Americans to buy American tools, what they're going to have to do is provide that incentive, that feeling of belonging, that reason. And that's where you could take something as simple, or let me grab a Snap-on screwdriver here. I don't know, maybe even let them choose the color, but I'd recommend one of those two right there. Either a number 2 Phillips or whatever size 1/4 inch slotted. And say, here you go. You're part of the club now. You belong. And with that, Doc out.